All right. Welcome to my session, you guys. We're talking about Instagram Reels today. My name is Jennifer Benton. I am the CEO and founder of Jenetic Marketing Group and also the media director of Mount Hermon Baptist Church in Philadelphia, PA. And the unique thing about that is I'm digital and I'm distant from my church. I live about 6 hours away in Ohio, and I'm in transition to Philly. But in the meantime, I have been serving as the coach, if you will, for the media team as we were navigating the pandemic and whatnot. So that has been quite the experience, but definitely has been effective as our church has not only been maintained, but we've grown during that time. Meanwhile, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about Instagram Reels. Instagram is really one of my favorite platforms. I actually got my start, just to give you guys a little bit of history about me. I got my start in social media on Instagram. I happen to be kind of posting about my experiences as a member of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church under the late Bishop Eddie Long at that time. That was back in 2014. And there were two ladies that were running social media for the church and for Bishop. And they just happened to be following me on Instagram. And after one of our Saturday services, they came up to me and said, "Hey, we've been following you. You seem to know what you're doing on Instagram. Would you mind taking over the church's Instagram account and making it grow and adding content to it?" So for me, being a regular user, just a consumer, going from that standpoint to managing the account for a pretty much a legendary ministry, a global ministry such as New Birth, pretty much overnight. That was really an eye-opening experience. And it was probably one of the best experiences that I could have asked for starting out. So Instagram has always been very near and dear to me because that is where all of this, speaking at conferences, coaching, working with ministries around the world, sprung from. And I'm excited to share with you guys about the Reels because Instagram Reels is the newest thing on the block when it comes to Instagram features. It is huge because video is huge. As much as we want video and live stream to kind of take a back seat and we want to go back to posting photos and stagnant or static images with words on it and maybe some music added to it, we're really not going to go back there. And the reason why is because we as humans love interaction. We love to feel as if we are getting access to someone that we look up to or someone that we really have wanted to stay connected to for a while, or even when it comes to family and friends. This is why Zoom became very popular, and FaceTime and all those different things. Clubhouse, because it allowed us to connect with everybody on a real-time basis. We can hear voices, we can see faces, especially while we were in the pandemic and quarantine. So let's get into some of the basics about Reels, and then we're going to get into some strategy, okay? So what is Instagram Reels? I'm going to pull this over here. I'm sure I pulled this up. So Instagram Reels is a new way to create fun and engaging video content. It is a short form video feature that's very similar to TikTok. So if you've ever been on TikTok or you've seen TikTok videos, because a lot of creators repost those on YouTube and also on their Instagram, they are short, anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. They're creative, they're entertaining. Is very much, a punch in the gut type of thing and run when it comes to delivering this type of content. Now, why is this becoming a focal point for Instagram? Well, number one, Instagram is owned by Facebook. And if you follow the history of Facebook, you know that Mark Zuckerberg does not like to be outdone. Okay. He loves to be the big dog, the big fish, and TikTok, YouTube, all these other ones are coming out and they're kind of outranking Facebook and Instagram. So what does Mark Zuckerberg do? he goes and adapts to what is out and what's popular. So this is why Instagram Reels was born, because people were going over to TikTok and, blowing up over there. But of course, that has a lot to do with engagement. That has a lot to do with the organic reach and not so much just the platform. There's kind of a few different factors in there why people were flocking to that particular platform. But anyhow, Zuckerberg said, you know what? Before everybody goes over to TikTok, we're going to create a TikTok knockoff, if you will. Don't tell them I said that, though. Over here on Instagram, so that you guys can do that thing that you do on TikTok, you can do it over here, and we can keep you over here. So that's really why Instagram came out with Reels. And then also, too, it is one of their newest features. And a rule of thumb, just to keep in mind when you're on Instagram, you're trying to build your audience and grow your business on there, or even your ministry. Any of the new features that Instagram comes out with, they put that as a priority, meaning if you use it on a consistent basis, your organic reach, meaning unpaid, unpromoted reach, will go much higher than if you weren't using it. So if you're constantly posting to your Instagram feed, which is where the square photos and square videos are at, and you're not using stories and you're not using Reels, then it's going to be, kind of rough to grow on there. But if you add those two, just those two, stories and Reels, to your strategy, I'm telling you, your Instagram will start to go up, and you'll notice more people are finding you. More people are following you. More people are definitely DMing you, and you'll get more opportunities to sell your products and also build relationships, which is necessary because you have to have that fan base, that follower base, customer base in order to succeed. And so Leroy says he needs to get better at customer service. Yeah, the hacking it's tough, and it is hard to get in touch with people in their back office, even on Facebook. I just happen to have some connections there, praise God, but I tell you, it's still tough even for me. So let's talk about why having Instagram Reels is important for your strategy. Like I said, it's one of the new features for Instagram, and also they're going to increase your reach. They're going to give it priority. If you've noticed, if you've updated your app, and that's if you haven't updated your app, you're not going to see this. But if you have, Instagram has changed the buttons on the bottom of the app. So one of the main buttons is Instagram Reels. That's how much they're prioritizing that feature, because they want people to do more Reels. Why? Because it gets more engagement. And also people are going to stay on a little bit longer watching your Reel. And that's what they want. They want everybody to stay on that app. They don't want you to go nowhere else. They want you to stay right there. Also, what makes it important to add to your strategy is it's a trend. It's actually something that's trending right now. And it's kind of like a war between Reels and TikTok. So when you jump in on certain trends, you actually do yourself a favor, because you're getting in on what's popular, and more people are already involved in it, which makes it easier for you to reach more people because you're where the people are at. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, let's say, you're not tech savvy like Jen. I don't do computers. I don't do video. I don't even know how to edit. It's just not my thing. Can I still do Reels? Absolutely. You can do Reels just from clicking the Reels button on your phone and holding it up, and maybe coming up with something real catchy that's 15 to 30 seconds long, and getting your feet wet in that particular part of the app. A lot of times we make things harder than what it is, but my biggest advice to anyone that's out there, whether you are tech savvy or you are just getting started and you're trying to keep up with the times, give it a try. Don't be afraid to fail and learn from the failures. So you can't really go wrong when you look at it that way. because everybody has to start at some point, and you might as well start now. I mean, now is just a great time to jump in and get into this trend because it's going to keep going. And as of last week, actually, one of the CEOs of Instagram made an announcement that Instagram is going to become a video app, meaning they are putting more emphasis on Instagram Lives, Instagram IGTV, which is the long form video. I believe it's 10 minutes of video that you can upload to that particular part of the platform. And then if you're a high level influencer, meaning you have, 30, 40, 50,000 people or more, they do give you even more minutes than the 10. So you do have the long form, and then you've got this short form in Reels that you can utilize. And the more you utilize them, Instagram is actually going to start paying you to utilize those. So there is some incentive that is happening. They're testing out some incentives with the badges and whatnot, where people can buy badges that gives you money in your account. And each time you go live, the more people that buy, the better it is for you. And, they're testing it out so that they can see if people are going to really jump on it. Mark Zuckerberg actually announced the other day that Instagram and Facebook, between the two platforms, they are planning to give out $1 billion. That's right. Not a million, not 1,000, $1 billion of income to creators who use these platforms and use these tools. So that was just the other day that they announced that. So you definitely want to get in, because now's a good time to start building up in those particular areas, whether it's the Facebook Live, Instagram Live, IGTV, or Reels, and stories as well, because you can do video in there too, and start getting your audience accustomed to seeing you on video. And even if you don't have, a video presence that you want to present right now, you can do audio. Yeah, you can put up a picture, do some audio behind it, and call it a day. But don't make that a habit. Why? Because people want to see your face. They want to interact with you. They want to know, who am I talking to? Who's giving me these great tips? What do they look like? Where are they from? They want to be your friend in their head. And so to an extent, you do have to cater to that, especially if you want to grow and get in on these incentives that Zuckerberg has presented. Now, I've had a couple of questions in regards to pre-recorded videos. Can you use pre-recorded video footage for Instagram Reels? And the answer is absolutely. I would say this, and this is my rule of thumb here. Use the best 30 seconds of your video clip that you can possibly use. Like, literally, choose a piece that's like either suspensive, where you're kind of dropping off, and then referring people to the long form video, whether you put it on Instagram TV or if you put it on YouTube. For instance, I had a friend who played this clip, and she was debunking a myth. But before she got to debunking the myth, she just cut the video off. Literally, she hit that 30 seconds and it was done. And at the end of it, she's like, hey, if you want to hear me debunk the myth, you want to hear the truth about why this is the wrong ideology to have based on the clip that she played, go to my YouTube and then have the YouTube in your bio. And that's a whole nother masterclass in itself. The links in the bio, there's a way to have multiple links in there, but I don't have time to get into all of that. But we'll probably, get together sometime in the future, especially if you guys are following me on Instagram. By the way, I'm going to drop my name in the chat there. But having that link in the bio, you're able to go click it, or your audience is able to go and click it and then see the rest of the video. And this is what it does for you. This is the strategy right here. You're using Reels, which is what Instagram wants you to do. That gets you more views, more people to look at you. You're also getting more views on your YouTube, which counts, especially if you're trying to monetize. So it's a win-win situation when you use Reels to send people to another part of your marketing funnel. So whether it's your website, your blog, your YouTube channel, your church's service that's on, whatever platform it's on, you can't go wrong with using Reels. Okay. So the next question I had a few questions come in beforehand. What is the best way to go viral? Because we all want to go viral at least once. I think a lot of people are just like, man, just to have that one moment where there's 1,000 shares or 1 million views on something would be absolutely great. So in my experience of having viral moments, this is what I've learned. When it comes to the video clips, you want to go for that part of the video that's just gut-wrenching, or is very emotional or inspirational, or it's very unbelievable. Like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. Let me share this. So you want to go for one of those three. It's either gut-wrenching, like, oh my God, I feel you, I understand you, I'm crying because this clip was so emotional, or it's inspiring and people want to share it because it inspired them so much that they want other people to hear it, or it's unbelievable. They can't believe you did that, and they got to share it because they need somebody else who can't believe you did that either. And so when it comes to the ministry aspect of things, believe it or not, I'm going to tell y'all who is really good at getting viral moments, in my opinion. That is Dr. Matthew Stevenson in All Nations. To me, they are hands down the best at getting viral moments. Why? Because Dr. Matthew Stevenson's personality, first of all, is just unpredictable. He is a ball of fire, and I absolutely love watching him. And so when it comes to watching their services, you just don't know what to expect. And I would say about more than half the time, there's something going on in their service that is going to get people to talk. And one of the most notable clips that I remember came out, I think, about 2 years ago, where he apologized as a pastor to musicians. When I tell you, that set off so many arguments. It just was a viral moment that really was provoking and triggering, because there was, the two sides of the story. There was the musicians, there was the pastors. Then there was actually a third side, the pastors who used to be musicians. And that whole conversation that sparked from that was very much good, bad, and ugly. So it was a viral moment, but it also brought about a very much needed conversation. And so, like I said, for a viral moment, you really have to just kind of strike gold with your content. But let's talk about it from a Reels perspective. So I didn't necessarily go viral, but I did get almost 60,000 views on my, I think, second or third reel that I did. And I got this idea from a lady named Afnan Idris. She's on Instagram. She gave me some tips and I followed it. And my biggest reel came from remixing. What was it? I think it was now don't judge me, but it was the Cardi B dance from Up, her video Up. And so I remixed it. It was a Sunday night. I just was, being silly, because weekends are the best time to post humorous, fun, whatever, non-work related post, whether it's video or a picture. If it's work related, people are going to just kind of scroll by it. They want to relax. So you want to cater to that. That's part of the strategy right there. So make sure you take notes on that. With that video, I posted a caption where I just kind of poked fun at myself. I'm a mom of 2. I'm in my 30s. I used to be on the drill team at church. I used to be part of the praise team, dance team, all this stuff like that. And, back then I was flexible. I could move. Now that I've had kids and, getting up there in age, I'm not as flexible anymore. So I used that as the storyline. And then my video, you know, other moms were able to relate when they saw it. They're like, you know what, you did pretty good. And I got a lot of comments and compliments on that video. But it was like, man, I didn't expect that video to take off like it did. Like literally every hour I was getting like 300, 200 likes. And I'm like, oh my God, this is really taking off. So remixing videos, let's talk about that real quick. How do you use that to go viral? One of the things that you have to do is a little bit of research. You want to go for the most popular video that's out there. That's right. Go for the gusto. Go for the big ones. Why? Because when you do that, you're actually setting yourself up to get more exposure as well. So you want to use, your time to go look at something. If you see somebody else's did it, and 9 times out of 10, just a quick little hack here. If they're using audio from the audio library in Reels, then you're able to click on the audio link up top underneath their name. It'll take you to all the other videos that are using that same audio. So that's what I did. I was following somebody. They were doing the up dance. And I was like, I wonder who else is using it. Clicked on the audio link. And I found this other person who did it. And I was like, yo, I like the way she does it. I'm going to see if I can copy what she does. And that's the video that I ended up creating that got almost 60,000 views. So I used that strategy plus hashtags. And I know a lot of you are like, Jen, I don't know what a hashtag is. I don't know how to use it. I don't get it. Well, lucky for you, I have a post on my Instagram at Jen Janelle. That's my page. That has some advice about hashtags, how to generate your hashtags, how to use them, choose them, all that good stuff. Is literally 5 questions you want to ask every time you make a post so that you can choose the right hashtags for that post, which will put it in the right category where people can actually find it. Because that's the whole purpose of hashtags, is to get your information, your content out beyond your followers and get you some new people and some new eyes on it. So that's really the formula when it comes to going viral. Number 1, making sure that you have content that is engaging, that's capturing attention. And if you're going to remix, go for the big one and also use hashtags. Now, if you're wondering how remixes work, if you've seen some reels and you're like, wait a minute, how do I remix it? There are 3 dots on the side of the video. You press those and a little menu comes up. It allows you to choose to remix. Once you hit the remix option, it'll bring the video up and it'll actually do a side-by-side, a split screen, where that video is on one side, you're on the other. And when you press the record button, the video is going to play and you'll be able to record your part. So yeah, I know you're like, wait a minute, that was way too fast. I get it. We drove by that, but you guys can feel free to reach out to me. We can always do a coaching and a teaching beyond this point, and I can really walk you through how to do that and make those remixes happen. Because there's a lot of cool videos out there, and sometimes, you just want to give commentary or you just want to kind of mimic what they're doing, and remixing is the perfect way to do it. Also, another hack that you guys want to keep in mind, if you remix a video, you want to tag the original creator in your video. Why do you want to do that? Because if they have a high amount of views and if they have a high amount of followers and you do really good or you make their video even funnier, they're going to share it to their stories. They're going to repost it to their Instagram feed, which is great for you because that gets you more exposure. And that also gets you some new followers based on that person just saying, hey, I like this video. Look who did whatever to my video to enhance it. I think it's cool. So just make sure that you tag the original creator so that you can get the most out of your video remix. Okay. Now, I know some of you are like, well, Jen, how does this translate to sharing the gospel? on social media, because at the end of the day, we're church leaders, we're ministers, we're preachers, worship leaders, all of that. And we want to know how to further the gospel on social media, because that's one of the best ways to reach a lot of people in a short amount of time. So this is something that I'm very passionate about. I refer to it as digital evangelism. And it's just a way to just kind of incorporate what's new with something that's considered quote unquote old. And one of the ways that you can use Instagram Reels to share the gospel is one, cut a clip from your sermon or your worship service and use that. But of course, when it comes to doing that, you do want to go for your best 30 seconds. I mean, give it all you got, because you want to capture people's attention. And then, like I said, you can share the link to the rest of your service and send people over to YouTube or whatever platform your service is hosted on. Also, you can do a reaction video. So say you follow, what is that one? Marquise Jokes. And he has the church videos and the praise breaks and all that stuff like that. You could even remix one of those and add commentary to it. Like, oh my goodness, like, what did she think she was doing when she stepped over there? Like, now, why did she think she could shout in those hills? And just give your own commentary, kind of like what Kev on Stage does. I love Kev on Stage, by the way. It's one of the greats when it comes to doing those commentary videos. But you can do that, or you can even do commentary on a sermon clip. Or, if you have some type of video footage from your church and you just want to add some commentary or whatever, use that in your reels to point people back to your ministry. So that's one way, or another way of doing it as well. And then also too, for my worship leaders out there, and I used to lead worship in my former life before I totally devoted myself to media, but there's always that one song that people just don't sing the right part on. In fact, I think it was a little over a year ago, someone posted a clip of Richard Smallwood teaching Total Praise. And I don't know about y'all, but I am a soprano that loves to be in the alto section. And I just knew that alto part. I'm like, I know this one section. But people seem to stumble on that particular section of the song. So he had a clip of the Richard Smallwood, who wrote that song, showing the choir how to actually sing the right notes on that part. And I sang that song since I was a kid. I mean, I think that came out when I was like 10, maybe 11. I was in the choir back then too. I just knew I knew that part. When I heard Richard Smallwood sing it, I was like, so you mean to tell me all these years, for over 20 years, I've been singing the wrong notes? But our ears play tricks on us when we're hearing the recording. So it was refreshing to hear the part broke down by the person who actually wrote it. And I've been singing it the right way ever since. But for those of you that know how the song goes, the words, because in African-American Pentecostal church, we never know the words. We make up our words, even when it comes to hymns. We got the hymn book right there. But if you know the words, or that this is a song that everybody messes up, you can do a little series called The Songs, the Right Words to the Right Song, or something like that, where you're helping people learn the words that actually go to the song. You're debunking that myth, because I'm telling y'all, the saints will jack up a song in a heartbeat. So there's that part. But then let's flip it over to the musician side. A lot of my musician friends, you guys are just dope out there, killing it every Sunday and every Wednesday. But let's face it, there are some songs where that one little chord segment, people miss it all the time. If you got it, whether it's like a popular worship song, like a James Fortune song, because he's got all these different parts to it, or you have like a Thai tribute song. I loved what the late Paris Bowens did on his Instagram. There were certain parts where he would go and review some of Thai's songs that he played on, and he would break it down like, okay, these are the chords to this song or this particular part of the song. So, you know, your chord progressions. Thank you, Solomon. So you could actually show that on Reels. Make the most of them 30 seconds though. Like I said, and you can do the long form video on another platform, but show like, hey, you know what, y'all know this part that you always miss? I got it. Boom, boom. And people will go bananas over that because you showed them something that they didn't know. Also, if you are a vocal coach, I have a really good friend. His name is Jaron LeGrare. I think he's reached like 10,000, 15,000 followers on YouTube, but he started doing some things on Reels with Instagram that was really interesting. Nobody else was doing it. And that was taking videos from like Brandy, Leandria, Carrie Underwood, just different artists. And he was breaking down the register. He was breaking down what vocal techniques they were using to achieve certain notes or a certain sound. He was talking about their range and all this stuff. Like he did a full analysis on these artists. I think the one that really took off for him was Chandler Moore. And then everything else just kind of blew up from there. But when he did the Chandler Moore video, Chandler Moore actually reposted that video and was like, wow, I've never had anybody break down my vocal style like that. Like I just never had anybody pay attention to my voice like that. And so if you're a vocal coach or you're a worship leader that has that training, that education in vocals and things like that, use it. Use it to your advantage. Secure your expertise on the platform by sharing your knowledge, and people will appreciate it and they'll gravitate towards you as well. Like I said, Jaron literally went from a couple thousand followers to now he's at like 15, maybe 20,000 followers. Last time I checked, he just keeps growing. I just stopped counting. I'm like, dude, you got it. You good. You getting paid too. Gotta love my friends. So these are a few of my favorite Instagram accounts that I know they are killing it on Instagram Reels. One of them, well, the first one is Hills of Hope. Hills of Hope. This woman of God. Now, if you follow her, then you know. But if you don't, let me tell you, this woman of God, her creativity is amazing. So she has created this series using the animal emojis on the iPhone and gave them names and all this stuff. She started out with the pig that, you know, escaped being thrown off the cliff because, you know, the demons went into the pig after they came out the man. And she told the story from the pig's perspective. And it was so awesome. And her personality for the pig just really spoke volumes. So now like her account just blew up because somebody who had a bigger account got a hold of her video. They shared it. I know I saw it through somebody else's account and I was like, yo, I've never seen this. Like, I really hope she comes out with her own series. And so she has. Like, she's done Noah's Ark already. She's done Jesus and Capernaum. She's done Daniel and the Lion's Den. She done added different animals to it. And she just has found her niche where people really enjoy revisiting Bible stories as, you know, the animals that were part of it. So, yes, she's got that going on. Another one that I like is Andrew F. Carter. And he's a minister. He does reels probably like 2 times a day. And he uses the titles. So that's another thing, you guys. Rule of thumb, people will read your video before they listen to it. And I said that right. They will read it before they listen to it. Why? Because let's just keep it real. A lot of folks are at work, on Instagram, when they're not supposed to be. So they got to read the video. They need to read the captions in order to, see what's going on. So you do want to add captions to your videos. You want to add the titles to your videos as well, because that will help people know what you're talking about. And I'll give you tips on how to get captions relatively easy in just a minute. So Andrew F. Carter, he does really well with the captions. He's pointing here, he's pointing there. And I did a little pointy thing on one of my videos too. It's not as hard as it is. Basically, you point, you point, you point, and then you put your titles where you pointed. That's really like the gist of it. You point first and then you put the titles next and you're all good. So you don't have to worry about trying to find the titles. Your titles find your finger. Bingo. So like I said, Hills of Hope, Andrew F. Carter, they're really rocking it from the Christian perspective of doing ministry with reels. Okay. And then I'm bringing in two other ones that are really good from a creative standpoint, but they're also good for a knowledge database as well when it comes to technique and things like that. And I've learned a lot from these two ladies. One is Isis Brianna. She's amazing when it comes to reels, and she does offer a lot of information that you can gain from her. You can even gain some techniques from her. I love Isis. And also, this is Nikki Saunders. For those of you that are familiar with E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, Nikki Saunders is amazing. She handles all of his media presence. So Nikki is always bringing us with great tips. She's bringing content ideas. You can learn a lot from her. So her and Isis, they're definitely the two to stay tuned to when it comes to learning. And then also honorable mention, like I said before, Afnan Idris, which I'll drop these names in the chat too. She was the one that really got me started with reels, and following her advice, like I said, I got 60,000 views listening to her. So she's awesome as well. So I'm going to give you 5 steps to create engaging reels. All right. So we're going to speed round this because I've got literally 4 minutes left, and then I want to take some questions. So number 1, be authentic, be creative. Be authentic and be creative. Think about what you can do that you're good at, add it to your reels, add it to your presentation, and go for the gusto. Make it so that people fall in love with you and your personality, because that's what they really want. They want to know who you are. And your personality plays a lot into that. So give them the real you. And I promise you, your followers are going to be happy to experience that. Number 2, teach something that others may not know. Think about what you wish someone would have told you when you were starting out. Say, you're a pastor. You wish somebody would have told you certain things when you started your ministry 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. Share that on Reels. Do a short series where you're doing these 30-second encouragements saying, this is stuff I wish I would have known. Make that your title. Have that hanging, above in your video. And then you talk about what you wish you would have known for video 1, then video 2, next topic or next piece of advice that you wish you would have gotten. And number 3, stick to your niche. Yes, it's easy to get sucked in to some, trends, wanting to be viral, all that stuff like that. But you don't want to go outside of what you want to be known for. So like for me, I did the dance reel. I tied that into being a mom because I promote that I'm a mompreneur. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to do a bunch of dance reels. I'm going to repurpose, and recenter myself back to social media coaching, ministry, media ministry, all of that I actually do on a week-to-week basis, professionally and in ministry. So you want to make sure that even if you veer off just a little bit, come right back to where you belong, because that's what you want people to hone in on and connect to. And you want them to know you for that particular reason and not for something else, because it's not going to benefit you if you're doing dance reels and silly stuff and then you want people to take you serious for your business and ministry. It doesn't work. So always make sure that you have more focused on what you want to be known for professionally and ministry wise in the mix of that. So number 4, use titles. So we just talked about that a little bit, using titles in your reels so that you can have readable content as you're talking and having the audio go forth. Because like I said, people read your video before they listen to it. And a lot of times what they see in the caption or the title will dictate whether they actually turn the sound on or if they just continue to scroll by it. So make sure you utilize those titles. And then lastly, collaborate. If you have friends that are doing similar stuff to what you do, and maybe they're getting more traction than you are, or they have a bigger audience than you do, don't be afraid to ask them to collaborate with you. Come up with something that you both can use on your platform that's going to benefit what you're going for, whether it's getting more followers, whether it's getting more clients, whether it's getting your ministry exposed to more people. Go ahead and collaborate, and it definitely will benefit you in the end if you do it the right way. So we're going to go back over these. 1, be authentic and be creative. Number 2, teach something that others may not know or what you wish you would have known when you started out. 3, stick to your niche. Just make sure you keep it right in the center of where you are, because it matters. Number 4, use titles. And number 5, collaborate. So those are the 5 steps to creating engaging reels. And I hope you guys found value in that. And also, I'm going to drop in the chat the 4 people that I highly suggest you guys follow because they are rocking it in reels. Do you guys have any questions for me? We're going on the 45-minute mark, but I want to make sure that I am mindful of any questions that are in the chat here. So let me see here. So Leroy, you wanted some Instagram advice. DM me on Instagram and we'll set up a session to chat there. So Amina says that is true regarding captions. I definitely do it. It also helps with a variety of learning and persons with other abilities. Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for bringing that up, Amina. Especially when it comes to the audio portion of it, it allows those that have the accessibility features, especially on iPhone and Mac. They have accessibility features that will either read or kind of dictate speech and whatnot for those that are either deaf or blind and they're trying to interact on social media. So think about it from that aspect. You know, when you're putting something out there content-wise, cover all the bases, have your captions, have your audio, so that you can reach everybody that wants to be part of what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, that's the point of being on social media. Now, I know some people are like, I'm just on there because I want to see what everybody else is doing. Nothing's wrong with that. But if you want to grow your ministry or your business, you definitely want to utilize those captions. So real quick, I'm going to paste this in here because I have these written out for folks that I would suggest you guys follow. And then also too, feel free to follow me at Janelle on IG. And I'm going to paste these in here. Follow these accounts. And those are their actual names on Instagram. So you just put the @ sign in front of them and you'll pull up each of their accounts. All right. So Amina, you're asking, how can we protect intellectual property when doing reels on Instagram? That is a great question. I'll be honest with you. You do have to copyright some things, but I will say this. Be prepared for people to bite off of your stuff. Be prepared for people to steal your stuff. This is my rule of thumb when it comes to social media and posting information there. I'm only going to post the information that is not proprietary towards my business, meaning it's not something that is like a quote unquote secret sauce. It would be nice. And Solomon, you know, I'm with you. Give me credit. It would be nice if people gave credit because they are biting off of your genius. But unfortunately, people are not that integral. So I would never put anything on social media that I would want people to pay for. Instead, I would create either a like a hidden blog or some type of membership where people can actually, you know, pay to get my information. That is my secret sauce, as you will. And then that way I don't have to worry about any and everybody stealing it, because you got to pay to get it. But before you even put it on that platform, definitely copyright it, trademark it, if you will. I have some really dope friends that have come out with some major brand stuff, and they've had to trademark their logo. They've had to trademark their sayings. They've had to trademark certain things because people see it. And this is the myth that's online. Everything that's on the internet is not fair use. For whatever reason, people think, oh, it's online, it's on the internet, it's on social media, I can just use it. No, you cannot. But the only way to fight it in the court of law is to have it trademarked or copywritten. So if you don't have those types of protection on your information, I would not share it publicly until I do. And that's the best way to do it. And some of my friends have even gone as far as posting the trademark approval on their page so that, you know, like, okay, I can't use hashtag. And that's another thing. Let's kind of just veer off into this. You can trademark a hashtag. So one of the things that I always suggest is hashtagging your business, hashtagging your brand. You can actually trademark a hashtag to where not just anybody can use it, only the people that you authorize can use it. I've actually seen this happen. There is a dancer who's deaf, and he used like hashtag deaf talent. And somebody came on his page and was like, you can't use that. So he made a post about it. Like, I don't understand. They told me I can't use hashtag deaf talent. And the woman came back in the thread and was like, it's trademarked. That's why you can't use it. And then she posted on her page the actual trademark paperwork showing that she did trademark deaf talent. And that's actually the name of her business. She has this agency where she specializes in representing people who are deaf that are dancers, creators in Hollywood and whatnot. And he's not part of her agency. So she was very much on that. And there are people that will do that. Some companies aren't as, tight about hashtags being used. Like if you use hashtag Nike, hashtag ESPN or something like that, they're not going to really come after you. But there are some smaller business owners that are really, really paying attention, because you can track hashtags on Instagram. You can follow them. So there are people that are watching over their brands very tightly, because they're still growing. And until they get to that international platform or stage where they are followed by millions of people, they just don't want any and everybody using it. So yeah, so definitely, like LaKesha said, some want you to use their hashtags if it's to promote their business. And that's the key. Don't just use hashtag Nike to get likes and views, because even Instagram will penalize you for using hashtags that have nothing to do with your post. But that's a whole nother lesson for another time. Just keep that in mind. Always make sure your hashtags pertain to your post. Now, if you're wearing Nikes, you're showing off your new Jordans, that's relevant to Nike, but you just don't want to put that out there for no reason. So I hope this session has been informational. I hope it's been valuable for you guys. It's been fun just interacting with you all and sharing about Reels. Hopefully I will see some of you all on Instagram. Follow me. I will definitely follow you back. And let's get into this Reels things together. I've been kind of, slacked off for a little bit because I've been busy, but I'm about to really get on it because, like I said, Instagram announced just last week that they are really focusing on video. They're shifting to a predominantly video app. So you still be able to put pictures there, but your pictures won't get as much traction as your videos will. So you do want to jump in on this trend. And then also to get them coins. Listen, don't just wait for YouTube to get coins. Get them coins on Instagram too. They're giving $1 billion away. They're giving it to creators that will use the video features on Instagram and Facebook. Don't miss out on it. All right. So until I know LaKesha crying real tears. I know. Listen, I'm gonna give y'all one more hack and I'm gonna get out of here. Get a space in your house like I have here. I got this little space right here. Get a space that you can record in. So then that way you don't have to set up every time you record. Because you can literally sit in front of your computer like this and just go for it. Give whatever information you have, do your little talk, and also to do it in batches, meaning you don't have to do videos every day. You can pick a day. And if you're like me, I have kids. It's kind of hard to get in front of the camera because they're making noise and stuff like that. Thank God they're in summer school. Hallelujah. So I can do this. But you can get in front of the camera on a particular day when you have a quiet moment. And listen, change your shirt, do a new video. Change shirts. Have like 4 or 5 shirts lined up. Just switch your shirts out. And you got 5 videos. That's what a lot of these top influencers do. My coach taught me that, and I was like, yo, say no more. Bet you I'm going to do that because I don't have time to be doing videos every day. I don't have time to have my phone in my face every day. I just don't. So if you're like me, take advantage of that and use that strategy. And then that way you have your videos for the week. So that's my time, y'all. Thank you for rocking out with me. And like I said, I look forward to seeing you guys on Instagram. But until next time, peace.